Hello, everybody, and thank you for listening to another episode of the happiest hour on earth. We just wanted to let you know that after we filmed this entire episode, we realized that the audio might not be up to par, it's a little bit off, and we just apologize for that. But we believe you'll still hopefully love this episode. We did the best we could to get the audio as clear as possible. We are moving this week, which we mentioned in our episode, and I think our brains just kind of let something slide. Not sure what happened, but that is probably why it doesn't sound up to par as it normally does. But
you'll still be able to hear us just fine. It's just probably not going to be the exact same quality you might be used to hearing. But Chris is going to do some editing magic and probably get it sounding pretty decent.
Yeah. We aren't going to fully re-record this episode because we are very tired from our move. So we just want to say that we appreciate you for listening to the episode regardless, and we love you. So please enjoy this episode.
Enjoy.
Thank you. Bye.
What's up, friends? Welcome back to another episode of the happiest hour on earth. Tonight, our episode is based on weddings. I think wedding season is kind of just coming up. It's springtime, summer's around the corner. A lot of people are getting married this time of year. So we were actually at a wedding this weekend. Chris was in the wedding as a groomsman. And it was heavily Star Wars themed, which was really fun. And it just kind of inspired us to do an episode about Disney-themed weddings, because we had a few elements in our wedding that were Disney-esque, and we know a lot of you guys did as well. So whether you're planning your wedding right now, or maybe you're already married and you had some of these Disney things in your wedding, and you can just look back fondly on your wedding, we just hope that this is a fun episode for all of you, and hopefully if you're planning your wedding, maybe you get some inspiration from this stuff. So we're really excited for this episode, so let's go ahead and jump in.
All right, so we are so excited to talk about this topic because, like Emily said, I was in a Star Wars wedding last week, and it was just most fun ever.
Yeah.
But yeah, wedding season is here. I mean, within the past month, we have been to 2 weddings, a lot of bachelor parties, bachelorette parties, a lot of stuff going on. So we're like, you know what? We have to kind of do an episode on this. We've never touched this topic, and we had some Disney elements in our wedding, which we will be talking about. And also a lot of you had some Disney elements, which you guys hit us up about. And we can't wait to let everyone know what you guys did at your wedding so that people can get inspired as well. But a quick little note before we get started. We are in the process of moving.
Heat of a move.
Literally moving in a few days. So this is our last episode at our current place. And so next week, we are not going to be having an episode. I believe we're going to be doing a little pause there. And then maybe we'll get things set up. Our goal is to kind of totally switch our studio around. I'm not sure when that will really happen.
Yeah.
But
we get an extra bedroom in this new house, which is very exciting because currently, you may not know, but you're in our kitchen right now.
Yeah. Kitchen, dining room.
Yeah, basically the dining room. But he has to get to work and set up and tear down our whole setup every week, and it's a lot of work. So we're pumped to be in a new place where we have just some extra space. Maybe we can even just leave it set up and not have to worry about all the breaking down and everything after filming. So we're really excited, but it might take a little bit to kind of get ourselves together and get everything set up the way that we want it to be there.
It'll probably look very similar at first, but our goal is to kind of totally switch up the studio, which would be so awesome.
Some fun plans.
We have some ideas. They're kind of
road.
Expensive, so we might have to pause on those because we are going to Disneyland soon. So that will take some of our money.
And moving,
And moving is very expensive. Yes,
everything's expensive. Let's be real.
Life is expensive, everybody, and weddings are expensive. So with that perfect transition. Wow,
yes, exactly. So
we might as well jump into this. So, like I said, I was in a Star Wars wedding last week, literally 4 days ago. Super, super awesome. It was one of my best friends, and we've all loved Star Wars like our entire lives. And so I was curious what they're going to do because he said there's going to be some elements in it. And so we were going to kind of just break down what he had at the wedding. And I think the perfect place to start it would be just kind of the accent that I was able to wear, which was really, really cool.
So cool.
So we had lightsaber boutonnieres, and the bridesmaids had matching bouquets. And the cool thing is that everyone's boutonniere was a different lightsaber. So I had Luke, and then which is crazy.
So
and
cool.
So there's like someone had Obi-Wan, someone had Kylo Ren, someone had Anakin. It was just so awesome.
Very
the
cool.
Flowers were popping out. I'm sure we'll post a little picture of this, or just hit us up and we'll send it to you. But those were an amazing little touch.
Such a cool touch, and an even cooler thing about that. I don't know if you realize it or not, but the bride has a tattoo of that exact thing.
Oh, that's right.
She has a tattoo on her arm of a lightsaber that has flowers coming out of it, and it's really, really cool. So I think it was kind of inspired by that.
Yeah.
By that tattoo of hers, and it really was tastefully done. I think it looks so cool as a boutonniere, and for the girls, I mean, it's kind of subtle looking. Like you could see what it was if you knew what to look for.
Yeah.
But I mean, they just had their beautiful flowers, that were perfectly visible. So we were looking out for the lightsabers.
Yeah.
Obviously, you knew about it because you were in the wedding, but it was really cool.
Such a tasteful touch. Yeah.
Yeah, it was really cool. So other things that they did, the music. There was a lot of really cool music. Star Wars, obviously, kind of lo-fi Star Wars for like pre-ceremony. I caught some of that, and you all walked down the aisle, I think, to one or another Star Wars song. I can't recall exactly which ones. I think the groom walked his mom down the aisle to the Cantina song.
Yeah, lo-fi Cantina. So awesome.
Really, really cool. And so lots of music incorporated into the wedding.
They also a lot of lo-fi Star Wars like during dinner. And then I'm trying to remember. Oh, our like exit or our recessional, and then the entrance to the reception was the like the throne room.
Yeah, that's what it was.
When they were like giving all the medals out in A New Hope.
Yeah.
And so that was really cool, very triumphant and very awesome.
It was.
Yeah, it was really, really nice. I loved it.
Yeah, it was nice because it wasn't so like in your face. Like it was like we know the song, so we knew what it was, and it was like it sounded pleasing to the ear. It wasn't like as if you were listening to actual Star Wars music blasting over the speakers.
Yeah.
Like if you did that, no hate to you. That's amazing as well. But it was just, I think, for anyone who's like not super into that, like they wouldn't really know and be like, what it says,
Especially the lo-fi stuff was really, really cool because it was just so vibey for
easy to listen to.
Yeah,
it was really so cool.
And then for decor, they had actually the tables were actually Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, they did have some Lord of the Rings thrown in there. The like seating chart and the tables themselves were Lord of the Rings, like different. I think they were different places.
Yeah, there's like Mordor.
We were the Shire, I think.
Yeah, the Shire. Which is awesome.
That was cool too, but there was less Lord of the Rings. It was definitely more Star Wars.
Yeah, the projection. They had this projection of like the "I love you, I know."
Yeah.
Han and Leia thing, and then with their dates and their names. Yeah, which was really, really cool. And then the bar. The bar had a little light up cantina sign, which was really fun.
So cool.
It's super, super cool. I think for decor, I think that was pretty. You know what? They had some other. Things, right? Like the flower girl had the wagon, and it had the a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away. Right there, and then I feel like there's maybe a couple more, like near the entrance. I had a different perspective since I was like in the wedding, but the decor was done really tastefully too. Yeah.
I thought it was as well. It was very, very nice and pleasing to the eye.
Oh yeah, for sure.
The next thing though was there were lots of lightsabers going around. Not just the bouquets and the boutonnieres, but we all ended up with lightsabers by the end of the night. They were kind of,
so like the bridal party had like real lightsabers that we gave all of us. Where's my lightsaber?
Oh.
In the midst of the party, I might have lost it.
Ooh, don't tell the groom.
Unless he's listening to this episode, I will definitely grab it somehow. I'm sure someone grabbed like extra lightsabers. Oh gosh.
Let's hope so.
Yeah, but there's also like party favors that you could explain too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
really fun.
so there was party favors that were given out just kind of in a big box. You could just go grab them. They you just had to like turn them on and they lit up. So
it was like a foam lightsaber that he like wrapped to look like a handle of a lightsaber, but they lit up, which was really fun, like during dancing
during
and
music,
stuff like that. And like during the entrances and all that stuff, which was really, really fun.
Yeah. And then at the time that the bride and groom exited and they were headed to their limo, all of us, of course, were holding out our lightsabers for them to walk under to get to their limo. So
that also reminded me, as during the ceremony, as she was coming down, I believe it was when she was coming down, everyone on the ends of the aisles had lightsabers to do a tunnel for her, I believe.
I don't think it was for her. I think it was
recessional?
as they exited.
As they exit. Okay.
Their recessional or whatever. I think
that's right. There was something like that. The tunnel.
I think it was at the end.
The ceremony, which was awesome.
I recall seeing even video afterwards.
That's right.
I think that it was at the end when they were leaving, which was very cool.
Yeah, so awesome.
So some fun touches for sure.
And then obviously some quotes in the ceremony. The ceremony was great. The officiant was just awesome, but obviously got to sprinkle in some Star Wars references.
Not to mention what he was wearing. The officiant was wearing basically a robe, Jedi robe the whole time, which was hilarious. I thought he was maybe just gonna wear it for a little bit and then take it off, but he wore it the whole time, and it was hilarious because as all of us walked in to find our seats, he was already standing up there. I don't know if you even saw it, but he was standing up there, back facing everyone, and he was just standing there like
so
super
funny.
Solemn. And then I think he turned around and he had the hood on, obviously. It was like a little pre-show. It was pretty fun.
That's amazing.
So that was a fun touch.
If you're going to be an officiant, how awesome would that be?
Make it fun.
Yeah.
If you know that the bride and groom are that into Star Wars, you just gotta go all out.
For sure.
Make it super fun. He did incorporate a lot of good quotes in there and a couple Lord of the Rings there as well, I think. But he sprinkled them in all over the place, and it was, everyone that knew those quotes were all chuckling, of course, as they happened. So it was really fun.
It was perfect. It was really great because it was done so tastefully, but then it was also still so them. So Chris and Katie, if you're listening, we had such a fun time at your wedding.
We did.
And literally shout out to you, all the best to you guys. And we're going to be living a little closer soon. So, we love you guys and can't wait to hang out.
Yeah, we can't wait.
And now they are actually in Disney World and they're going to be doing Galaxy's Edge for the first time. Yeah, so super, super excited for them.
Yeah, I'm sure they're going to be having a blast and probably spend much of that day.
Oh, yeah, I think they are going to be doing Savi's workshop, which will be super awesome. Lightsaber. Yes.
Yep, lots of fun ahead for them on this honeymoon.
Yeah, congrats.
Yes, we love you guys.
Let's go. So our wedding, should we talk about what we did for our wedding?
Yeah.
Not too many people know.
Yeah, we've kind of touched on it on other episodes, but but we didn't really get too into detail about what we've done or what we did at our wedding, which was coming up on 7 years ago. I just have to say that is a good chunk of time.
Yeah,
and it has passed in the blink of an eye. It's not till September. That's when our actual anniversary is, but the months just take off. I know our anniversary is going to be here very quickly. So 7 years almost. But we had an amazing wedding.
We did.
It
was the best day of our lives. Honestly.
Yes, if I could relive it, I would in a second. It goes by so quickly. I mean, you have little snapshots in your head of things that happened, but and we have an amazing wedding video that our good friends made for us.
Yeah.
And we watch that back at least every anniversary, if not more. But so special to relive it that way. But if I could do it
Again,
In
hey, we're
person
coming
again.
up. We're coming up on 10 years, so we might as well do a 10-year.
Yeah.
What's it called? Renewal.
Yes.
Yeah, renewal.
I would
That'd
be
so awesome.
very down to do that.
Yeah. Do you want to have off with number 1? What we did?
Yeah.
I think this was one of the coolest things we did.
I think so. I don't recall where we found the idea to do it. Maybe Pinterest or I don't know. I don't see it done commonly, but it was very fun. And we didn't get like extremely obvious with a lot of our touches. Like
besides this
was I feel like this is obviously people are gonna know what this is about, but aside from this, other things were pretty small and just lightly sprinkled into the day. But the first thing that we did that was really fun was we had a fast pass seating chart, and all the tables were different rides. Yeah. So your fast pass with your name on it would be directing you to which table you're at, which corresponded to the ride. Yeah. So it was so much fun. I think we found the person on Etsy that made the fast passes for us. Yeah. So we had to send them everybody's name on the guest list, and they made specific fast passes with the person's name and the date of the wedding and the time beginning to end of the wedding. Which was so real. Very real and authentic looking. And fast passes aren't even around anymore, so that's kind of like
history.
Extra special that we had fast passes. Yeah. They're so cool. I think we kept some somehow
somewhere, yeah.
Stored away. I could not bring myself to get rid of all of those because that was such a fun special touch to our wedding.
And it was fun putting the tables to the people, right? Like, so we had some people who were a little more edgy goth, and we were like, on a mansion, of course.
Easy.
Like our table, I think was
the castle. I think we just did, the castle.
Yeah, and then but yeah, certain people's vibes we
tried to fit them to which table they should be at, which was super fun,
super cool. I loved it.
Yeah, that was one of the more fun things to incorporate into the wedding, I think.
And I forgot, did we have like I think what we did is we had a huge seating chart with your fast passes, but if your name started, like there were clips, right? So if your names, I think we had like all the A last names together, all the B last names together. And so you I think you had to unclip, find your name within those. And then that brought you to your table.
Yeah.
So there were like different, if we were L, then we would take off the L ones, find our name, and then we would know which table we were sitting at. And then we would just reclip them back in. But I thought that was like really fun because you're like, whose table am I going to be at? And they're all kind of mixed matched, with the letters. So.
And it ended up looking so cool really by the end. The way that we just made the seating chart and had everything pinned because it was on kind of like string things, lines across. We're going to have a reel on our Instagram that has all of this that we're about to talk about, or at least a good amount of it, that was in our wedding. So if you want to see photos or, little quick video footage of it, it'll be on there, I think, by the time this video is up. So.
For sure. Yeah, go take a look at it. If you want to see some more or like just want the static shots so that you kind of see what they did, let us know and we'll definitely send those to you. Since, reels have to be short.
Yeah, and the very quick clips.
Very quick, yeah. So definitely let us know. But I think that was like our
it was our biggest Disney element, I would say, in the day. But.
The second detail we had was actually my gift to
part of my
gift to Emily, and then we used it for a wedding. So we had an adventure book on our table, like the entrance table. And so I got like a adventure book from Up, and then also like a Polaroid camera. And so what we wanted to do was have an adventure book so that people could write their,
notes
to us in the first 3 pages, and then we would use the rest of the pages for just like all of our trips with our Polaroids. So we literally have this adventure book with tons of people just giving us their well wishes from our wedding, and then just like our trips that we did through the years, which is super awesome.
Trips and just special occasions. Yeah. Like our first holiday married and like, subsequent just exciting things that
Yeah.
happened. And we have yet to add to it since I think having our son. And so we're going to have a lot to add to it.
Yeah. I mean, since it was like pandy times, you guys know what I'm talking about. Can't say the word or else YouTube won't like that.
But it's been so fun to just have that book that we can still look back and read what everybody wrote to us, to kind of just look back on that day, but then also to flip ahead and see the trips, you know, the Hawaii, Disneyland, Disney World, Europe, just all the places we've gone. We just have those little snippets of those trips and little notes by them and stuff. And it's been a really fun way to have that little aspect of Disney just kind of follow us along after our wedding.
Yeah, for sure.
So it's been really fun. But another one, which was part of his proposal to me the year before we got married, was having the Cinderella slipper placed kind of as a prop. I think it was where the guest book or the adventure book was placed.
It was like where everything was. That table was just like the Disney stuff. It was like the Fast Pass.
Mm-hmm, that's right. The signing book. Yeah.
The slipper. Yeah.
So we had the slipper out on the pillow. It was the way that he had proposed to me, in case you haven't heard us talk about it in the past, was in Disneyland next to the castle. He had a friend who walked out from the castle as if he was a cast member. Looked legit, I would say, as well. If you want to see the video of it, we can send it your way.
Yeah, we'll probably post it. Maybe we'll post it on the story.
Yeah.
The day this comes out. But yeah, if you want to see it later, hit us up and we'll send it to you.
The full thing. Yeah, I guess we could put the link.
Also,
too.
The guy that my friend who helped me here, he is now like a pretty decently sized YouTuber named Blake Rozier. And so I'm just name dropping him here because he's
got a lot
in it with a lot of
YouTube.
the big dudes of YouTube. And so props to him for killing it.
Yeah, and he was a huge part of our proproposal. He came
literally
out.
The reason,
and he was, thankfully he had a pass to the park, so he was like trying to get there. He was stuck in traffic, and Chris was having to delay the proposal for it, but he got there. He made it happen, and so he was basically going up to everybody as if he wanted to try the slipper on them to see if we could find the princess, and then came to me obviously and said that it was for me. So it was very cool. And then obviously Chris came out and proposed. Yeah, my friend, he did not pop the question. No, he did not. I popped out. He was the little guy, not the little guy, but the guy. He's like trying to make sure that the squire is trying to make sure it fits on the person, and then it happens. Yeah, so and he did an amazing job. I definitely, because I didn't know him at the time, and I fully thought that he was a cast member. I mean, he definitely pulled it off. I was like, "What's this? Is like a new show they're doing?" Like, I was so confused. Then I caught on and I realized what it was going to be. I put it together after a minute or so. While he was away, he had like escaped for a few minutes. I was like, I think I know what's happening here. But I still didn't know that he was just a friend. I thought he was literally a cast member. So it was very cool and special. Pretty awesome. So we deviated there from the actual wedding, but the slipper used for that proposal was something that we had at our wedding as a prop. So sweet. Yeah, I love that. I love it. Another thing, last little quick thing. She had in her bouquet a necklace kind of thing of the sign that here you leave today, enter the world of yesterday's fantasy. Yeah, exactly. And so I had it kind of attached to my bouquet. And I'm so sad because it's gone now. After I tossed the bouquet. Oh my gosh. I never saw that thing again, and I should have known that would happen, obviously, or like taken it off beforehand, but I didn't. So lost that little necklace or whatever it was. Although I still have a keychain of that quote on my keys, so that's cool. That's, still something. It is still something. Yeah, so I think that was pretty much like all of it. We did have like a happily ever after starts here sign, but that was actually the venue who provided that, so that was really awesome. They just had it. Super super cool. But then we didn't actually have any songs that were Disney, and I think as we asked our listeners what they incorporated into their wedding,
songs were a big part of it. And so with that, I think we should probably talk about how you could incorporate Disney into your wedding and like the listener suggestions. But I'm going to quickly just talk about the question we asked our listeners. And so we just put out a little poll, said, hey, who added Disney to their wedding or any Disney elements? And so the one that won was 47% said subtle Disney elements. And then 31% said yes, they did. So maybe it was a little more than subtle. And then 22% said they did not add any Disney references to their wedding. So I think the subtle is the way to go for those people who
seems
are
to be
Disney
the most
fans.
popular.
Yeah, the most popular for sure.
Yeah.
But so now we're going to be talking about just ways that you could introduce some Disney elements in a subtle way and then a not so subtle way. So we kind of broke it down by like certain categories within the wedding and talking about those subtle ways, not so subtle, and then what our listeners did within those categories. So really excited to jump into this. Do you want to start us off with the first one?
Sure. So the first thing we wanted to talk about is how you can use your accessories or clothing to incorporate some Disney. So subtle stuff you could do could be like cufflinks for guys. I've seen that a lot on their suits. Earrings for the ladies, if you can find something subtly Disney related. Bouquet, like what I did, or what the bride that we went to the wedding for this weekend. There's always fun things you can do with your bouquet that incorporate Disney somehow. Boutonnieres, obviously. Disney fairy tale wedding dresses, if you haven't seen those. Very expensive, but if you have the money for that, there's some incredible Disney princess inspired dresses. I feel like they drop.
They're like officially Disney.
Official Disney wedding gowns. And they come out with new ones every so often.
Yeah. All it is like the style of dress.
Yeah.
So they're still like pretty much, I believe, all white.
Yeah.
But they just have a different style.
Yeah, so like a ball gown for Belle or for Cinderella, more mermaid style, obviously for Ariel, that kind of thing. So you can look into that if you like. So those are kind of the more subtle things you can do. But if you want to go the not so subtle route and just in your face Disney, some people, that is just the way to go. So you could have Mickey ears that you wear either during the ceremony or maybe afterwards during the reception. They have, of course, the beautiful bride ears. I have a pair of them that I have stored away, but
I'm
I obviously
definitely sure some people do that for the
ceremony.
Yeah, what's it called? The veil.
Yeah.
Yeah,
just
maybe
use
more
it as
people
their
for the
veil.
reception, but I'm sure people have done that.
Yeah, I'm sure somebody has. I have mine that I bought like probably on our honeymoon trip, and I wore it, obviously during our trip. But you could do it during your wedding if you already have it. But also, doing lightsabers like our friends did, just kind of more obvious that everybody knows that's something you love and you show it off.
And if you're going Marvel, you could maybe paint yourself green, like the Hulk or something like that. That's pretty not so subtle.
That is definitely not subtle. Every bridesmaid and groomsman is a different superhero.
Yeah, it's a different
dressed up as everyone. I could see it happening. I'm sure it's happening.
I'm sure there's been a Marvel wedding.
I am 100% sure. Now I'm gonna have to look it up.
Let's just do an all Hulk wedding, please. Someone who's listening right now, tag us so we can see. And
that would be very interesting to see.
Yeah, for sure. Should I get the first one? You get the second one? We got some listeners.
Oh yes. We got some listeners who did some fun things.
Yeah, so these kind of fall under, I guess, accessories and clothing. So Disney Cable Magic, Rachel.
We had her
so
on our
awesome.
Show
We had her.
Year.
Yeah, we did. Yeah,
so fun.
Christmas time of 2021,
which
is
oh my gosh,
insane. It's been so long.
I
know. She's an awesome page. Has a YouTube channel as well. And so definitely go check her out. But she said her wedding band was made based on Ursula. She's a huge Little Mermaid fan. And so I haven't seen her wedding band, but I'm sure it's kind of very
maybe kind of dark.
Tentacly, or maybe it's the color.
Yeah, I want to see it. So Rachel, if you're listening, you should just message a picture to us. We can share it if you want. I'm sure other people will want to see it as well.
Oh yeah.
I'm very curious what it looks like.
I need to see.
Yeah, but also Rue Meets World said she and her husband both got the To Infinity and Beyond symbol tattooed immediately after their wedding, which is so cool. Like, did they have a tattoo artist there at the wedding, just like ready to tattoo them, or was it like
a friend or something?
Yeah, how did this happen?
I dig that. It's like you're going down the aisle of the recessional, and then you're like instantly just pull your finger out.
Tattoo me.
Just woo. Here we go.
I love it. That is dedication and so symbolic. So I love it. Great usage of that quote for your wedding.
Oh, it's so awesome. Also, Rue Meets World is another amazing Disney page. She's also a travel agent too. So if you're in need of a travel agent, go check her out.
Yes.
But I think that was the only ones that really kind of fell under the accessories and clothing. But music is another huge way you could bring in Disney to your wedding. And so you could do Disney music subtly. And so what we had here was like instrumental covers of songs. And one of our favorite ways to bring it in subtly is what our friends did. And they did the Circle Sessions album. I believe that's what it's called, the Circle Sessions album. But it's pretty much the music that they play in Carthay Circle. So it's very like jazz cocktail hour, but it's covers of songs, Disney songs. But it's also like very official because it's used in Carthay Circle and California Adventure, which is really, really cool. So something along those lines would be like the subtle way. If you're going the not so subtle way, you're going to be playing those like actual songs, like First Dance or like Processional or something like that. Yeah. And I guess I could start with the first one here. So it's Lauren Renee, who's one of our friends, great friends. So amazing. Like I said, she's the one that used the Circle Sessions album for, dinner and cocktail hour and all that stuff. Yeah. Which was really, really cool. But then the Recessional was actually fantastic. So, although the cocktail hour and dinner was a little more subtle, we got to do a little.
Fantastic is a fantastic song to celebrate to. It's very triumphant and happy and truly one of the best Disney park songs.
I was in that wedding too, and I really wanted to do the Mickey thing.
Down the aisle,
Yeah, either that or Catching Myself on Fire like the Dragon. R.I.P. I'm just kidding. R.I.P. That was so sad. Too soon. I'm so sorry. But I did want to do the arms of Mickey. But I held myself together. And I was just...
Yeah, maybe better.
I know.
I would have loved to see it, but...
It would have been great, But fantastic. Such a good recessional song.
Yes, it was so good. They had some great Disney touches in their wedding as well. Yeah. But Erica Adventures, a great friend, great supporter of the show. We love you.
Shout out to her because she just got some major.
Yeah, she gained a ton of recognition and follows recently.
Yeah, some very well deserved because her page is so awesome.
Yeah, we're so proud of you and excited for you. So congratulations. But she is getting married. I think she's engaged. So she said she's walking down the aisle to her brother playing Can You Feel the Love Tonight on the guitar, which is so special. Yeah. Not only that her brother is included in her walking down the aisle, but that it's Can You Feel the Love Tonight, which is one of the most romantic Disney songs there is. So love that.
And I love live music elements like that. It's really, really cool.
Yeah, so special.
And honestly, a great way to incorporate Disney, especially if it's instrumental. So we love that, Erica.
Yeah.
And speaking of like instrumentals and all that stuff, the Bucktails. I mean, a lot of these people are Disney pages, and they're all incredible. So you gotta go check them out.
Just check them all out.
But the Bucktails, she had a pianist play the instrumental Disney songs as guests entered the venue, which is always so great because I don't know, there's just something about, if you know that the bride and groom are Disney fans and just hearing the instrumentals, it's Disney, but it's still so elegant.
I was going to say it's like a more elegant
It's a perfect
version
blend.
of
It's a nice blend, yeah.
Yeah, of some of those songs, because obviously we love all of the originals and the classics, but to hear them just like so masterfully and beautifully played, I think is so fitting for a wedding. So
Yeah.
I love that. That's a
Yeah.
great one. Our next one is PPV with Liz Caruso, who said instrumental Disney music for ceremony. So this is a common theme.
It's a common one, yeah.
For good reason. Great stuff.
Yeah, definitely. Next up, we got Kaylin M. Kelly, who we had on the show 2 weeks ago.
Yes.
She's a vocalist in D Capella, and we just had the best time with her.
We did.
So awesome.
It was so good.
Kaylin,
so
we love you.
We plan on hanging out with you in about a month in Disneyland.
Yeah.
So put it on your calendar.
For sure. So she said the recessional song, and these are kind of like in order, like kind of subtle to a little not so subtle.
Mm-hmm.
But this one just blew me away. So recessional song was Married Life from Up, which is so great. That's pretty subtle. Yeah. But they had an off-duty Dapper Dans sing their first dance, which is incredible.
That's pretty unique, and I've never heard of anyone doing that before. Obviously, it's not easy to get some Dapper Dans in for your wedding day, so
yeah. She's got the hookups. She's like, I'm an amazing singer. I'm gonna, bring in these amazing singers.
I love that.
Yeah, that is so cool.
I would love to see
I don't even know
of
what song they sang, Kaylin. Can
what
you
was your first dance? I want to hear.
That is so cool.
I want footage of this happening.
Yes. So good.
But next up, we have Loving the Layover, who said ceremony music to match the cue for Jungle Cruise and Indiana Jones.
I love that. Is that the
some of the most classic
Balafon Marimba Ensemble?
Probably. Yes.
I know that's what the Adventureland,
which is some of my favorite music, especially to just walk through the land. Hearing it is so good.
Yeah.
I love that you had that in your wedding.
I want some more info on that. I mean, was that, she also said that the florals kind of were that cue too. So kind of like Adventureland. I love that. Adventureland is so amazing. So Loving the Layover, thank you for that suggestion here, because I feel like you could go either like Disney movie or like a land that you love too, and I think that's a perfect way to incorporate that vibe of the land. To play that music. That's so cool. I want to see some footage of that. That's so cool.
Yeah, me too.
Next up, Disney Cable Magic again. Rachel, she said she walked down the aisle to kiss the girl.
How very fitting for your wedding. I love that. So cute. Mama Powell said, walk down the aisle. What?
We know her?
Yeah. She is a good friend of ours. My younger brother's really good friend's wife. So thank you for
Mama Powell.
Yes, thanks for sending in your response. So she walked down the aisle to Beauty and the Beast.
Oh yeah.
A great song.
So good. And that carries over to our next one, because Mr. Make It Magical is a part of the Make It Magical podcast, which we are going to be hanging out with soon.
Yay.
And we love them so much. They're like we have like a pod BFF group, and they're within it.
Tripod.
Tripod. It's kind of like a tripod. Kind of like we have some other ones that we can fit in there too, but it's kind of like the tripod.
Like we live
California.
like in a close enough vicinity that we have hung out.
Oh,
and we plan to hang out more.
The only pods that we've hung out with in person. Yeah, which is so true. So their processional song was also Beauty and the Beast, which is so cool. And then their ceremony speech had words from Princess and the Frog.
Love it. I want to know which ones.
Yeah, Emily and Clayton, let us know what words you used from Princess and the Frog.
Yeah. Give us some of those quotes. And our last one for the music section comes from Drusilla Hughes, who is a good friend. Thank you for sending in your response, Drew. Her cousin had a DIY electrical light parade show. That's crazy.
That's why I said it starts up a little more subtle and goes not subtle. That's some good stuff.
Yeah.
I actually saw the video. I don't know if you were able to get the chance to watch it.
I need to see
it's like outside, and it's like a legit, like almost Christmas light show, bigger than a Christmas light show, but light show with
That's nuts.
With the
that's some dedication.
Yeah,
I want to see
that. If you were sitting there watching it, it's like,
that's crazy. And that's another thing where it's super not subtle, but you also have to know the show. Yeah. Like you would have had to know it from Disneyland to know that's what it was. Otherwise, you would just be like, "Oh, it's a cool light show."
You'd be a little more lost if you didn't know. You're like, what the?
Yeah, like why did you choose to do this? Maybe they had someone announce like, what it was. I don't know how that worked, but that's some commitment. And shout out to Drew's cousin there. That's however
amazing.
You made this happen, I'm sure it wasn't easy. So props to you.
Yeah, we got another one from Drew coming up, and you might be impressed. So definitely stick around for that.
Yes, we have more.
So next up, we're going to be talking about food, and so subtle ways that you could do food is, I think, churros. I think that's a cool way to be like, oh yeah, that's a little Disney hint, but it's not,
it's still something people
Disney.
Love. Like,
yeah, there's still something.
Disney.
Get that Smart and Final, like, I think they have like a 100 or 200 pack,
Just get one or two of those.
And just heat them up. Yeah, that's a great way to introduce, like, for a dessert, some Disney stuff.
Yeah.
Dole Whip. I've actually been to a wedding where they had a Dole Whip truck there, which is just insane. So Dole Whip is also pretty, subtle. Cocktails. You could do, like, Disney cocktails as your, like, signature drink. And then on the not-so-subtle side, doing Mickey-shaped food items. So Mickey Mouse ice cream bars, Mickey Mouse cake. Yeah, things like that. Anything Mickey-shaped is a little more not so subtle, but definitely I think people have done that before.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be Mickey-shaped either. Like if you do your cake, it could be anything else in the Disney realm. I think you could do castle stuff. I had looked at ideas for Cinderella cakes with like a flipper type thing on top. And there's a lot of options you could do cake wise, whether it's Mickey or something
like
else.
Toppers and stuff.
Yeah, you can do a lot with the cake. But and then just churros, Dole Whips.
Yeah.
All the goods, all the favorite snacks. I mean, you can do what you want at your wedding. I mean, anything you want, you could have all of it.
Seriously. And we have one listener suggestion here for what they did with food, and pretty awesome, a cool way to introduce, like a food or drink item into their wedding. So do you want to hit us off?
Yeah, this is very cool. The Bucktails, once again, said signature drink was Tokyo Sunset from the Japan Pavilion, which is super cool. I never really would have thought of making your signature drink be something, but I mean, Epcot has endless drinks, and a lot of them are very specific to Epcot.
Yeah.
And that is a very cool way to incorporate something subtly that
I would totally do that.
Yeah.
I don't know what I would do, like either Trader Sam's or Lamplight Lounge, but that would be so cool because then I know
it's a great drink. It's going to be something good, but unless you're a Disney person, you probably won't even realize that it's from the park.
Yeah, honestly, it's
That's
cool.
A very cool idea.
Brings in, those Disney people who are like, I'm gonna be getting this all night. And other one's like, oh, this is a nice, delicious drink, but I wonder, what is this? I love that idea. Super, super cool.
Yeah, very cool.
So fun. So thank you to the Bucktails for putting that suggestion out there, because I think that could be something that people definitely incorporate into their wedding. Because honestly, a lot of Disney love comes from the food and the drinks and the snacks and everything. So
very true.
Definitely important.
So why not add that kind of stuff into your wedding?
For sure.
Okay, so moving on, we're going to talk about decor that you can incorporate into your wedding. So this is kind of more what we did, I guess. We chose a lot more decor than anything else that was Disney inspired. So if you're going the subtle route, you can go for some small kind of ambiguous decorations at the tables that, could or could not be Disney inspired. I mean, you could go on Pinterest probably and find all kinds of fun ideas. I use Pinterest for everything.
I feel like a lot of those kind of ambiguous ones are like, a glass casing around a rose or something, or like Beauty and the Beast, or like a frog and maybe not a frog. It's like Ivy or something,
If you just shout out to Riley on Main Street. If you don't follow her, she has an amazing page, a lot of good Disney stuff. And she, for a while, I don't think she's done one for a while, but she had this series going for a while that was amazing. It was like Disney-inspired weddings without the cringe.
Yeah. So you want to go really subtle, yeah.
Yeah, so she had like maybe 10 different reels that she had done that were all different, just Disney-inspired weddings, whether it was like a ride or a movie. There's like Pirates of the Caribbean, Haunted Mansion, Tower of Terror, and, you know, Beauty and the Beast, Snow White, like movie wise, really, really cool ideas, just awesome reels. So go check out her page if you want some amazing ideas.
Yeah.
But yeah, a lot of it is decor related, so that's what made me think of her page. So definitely adding things to the tables, hidden Mickeys you can add. I think a lot of people do that kind of thing. You can put them anywhere, and it can just be a fun little game for everyone to just try to find your hidden Mickeys. Or maybe they don't even know and they just spot one. They're like, what? There's
Only
Mickey.
The Disney fans will know.
Yes, they would get it. Cake toppers, like we talked about, there's a lot you can do for that. And photo booth props. So a lot of people like to have photo booths at their weddings. So you could do a wide variety of Disney themed props that you can use during your photo session.
Yeah.
So that's a fun idea. But if you're going the less subtle way of Disney decor, you can do the table names as we did with the fast passes, welcome signs, all that kind of thing that just very directly points to Disney.
Yeah.
I think a lot, if not all of our guests knew that we were big Disney people, so everybody probably kind of expected to see some of that stuff at our wedding.
One quick note, I just thought of another one that I've seen on like this like smaller ambiguous decorations at the tables, like lanterns that were you know as the light that is, you know, tangled inspired. So you could even do that like insignia that they have on the lanterns, you know, things like that are very small and they're like almost a part of the centerpiece, but people who weren't really into the Disney lore and the movies wouldn't get it, but everyone else is like, oh my gosh, that's, you know, that's
especially if you do other things that kind of correlate with that one thing. Then it's like, okay, like I see a little theme going here, even if it's very subtle.
Yeah, I love it. But then if you want to go a little more obvious, like we did Disney table names and stuff. And so with some listener suggestions on what they did, Disney Cable Magic. Again, she said that she had an Ariel cake topper while her husband had Skeletor, which is a very fun matchup on a cake. And I would love to see.
I know. I want to see pictures.
Some photos of this. This is so great.
Not the love story we all know.
Yeah. It's definitely a little bit different. So if you're listening, Rachel, hit us up, post that photo, tag us, and we'll share it to our story.
Yeah, please do.
I really want to see that.
I've got to see
it. So good.
Next one comes from Allison Goats 333. I think Goats. Yeah,
that's insane.
Goetz. Who said hidden Mickeys. So I'm not sure exactly how she had them placed, if it was super obvious or super subtle or how many of them, but obviously a very fun idea for your wedding.
Yeah.
And the next one is PPV with Liz Caruso again, who said Beauty and the Beast toasting flutes. That's a fun idea. Yeah. Get them kind of themed, you know.
And it's like for you, you know, like if it is, I don't know if it was for everyone with the champagne flutes, but it's kind of cool to do some things that are just kind of for you.
Yeah, and you get
Mr.
to keep
and Mrs.
those
glasses that have like a Disney inspiration there too.
Yeah,
I love it. Keeping on the champagne theme, we got Lulu B Buzzin' Memories, who's been like a day one for us. Thank you so much, Lulu. And she said Disney decorated champagne glasses and then make hidden Mickeys at the dessert table. So like certain areas to hide the hidden Mickeys. I love that idea.
Whether it's
super
like
cool.
a part of the food or, you know, like the desserts or something, or just little designs or something.
I love that.
That's cute.
So cool.
Our next one is from Main Street and Beyond, who said they had Fast Pass save the dates and small Mickey heads on their cake.
I love that.
Very cute, kind of hidden Mickeys on the cake.
Yeah.
I love that.
I like the Fast Pass save the dates because we did Fast Pass seating charts,
Mm-hmm.
but to do save the dates that were Fast Passes, I want to know first where you got those from.
Yeah.
That sounds amazing.
Like
And I'd love to see. And I love the little Mickey heads on the cake.
Yeah.
And it's a really nice way to add a little Disney touch for sure. Next up, we have Mama Powell again. And she said, happily ever after cake topper.
Very cute, very subtle.
I love that.
Could or could not be like associated with Disney. I mean, it is obviously a Disney quote, but it's not like super in your face, I guess.
Yeah.
I love that. Very cute. All Day, All Disney said to infinity and beyond, cake topper and photo booth props.
Yeah.
Love it.
I love that. I like the photo booth props because we didn't even have that, but I think that's a great subtle way to like show your Disney love.
Yeah.
Then also just like, Roommates World did, the To Infinity and Beyond thing is actually a perfect wedding slogan.
Yeah.
And so to add that, to the cake
cute.
topper is super, super adorable. I love that.
It's
Lauren Renee said Disneyland champagne flutes. Again, come on, the champagne flutes. Let's go.
Yes.
And then also the tables had cards with Disney couples and then the love quotes that were associated with them, which is really cool. Probably on the back side of them.
Mm-hmm.
That's super awesome. I was actually in that wedding too.
Mm-hmm.
And so I might not have seen those,
that
were there, but I love that idea.
It is so
it's
cute.
Just like drawing inspiration from all these amazing writers and creators of Disney films.
Oh yeah.
And putting their little love quotes on
experts.
those. So
I
cute.
love it.
I love it.
So good. The Bucktails said welcome sign that said it was all started by a mouse because they met at Disney. That's so cute. Even more of a personal touch to that quote because yes, Disneyland was all started by a mouse, but
Disney, that is so cool.
Their relationship was also started at Disney. That's so cute.
I love that. Like, I feel like there's a lot of couples who went to the parks together, like, pretty soon into their relationship, but actually meeting at Disney.
I know. I'm curious how that went down.
That's pretty amazing.
Were you, like, in friend groups that went together, or did you just, like, randomly start talking to a stranger and they turned out to be your spouse?
The Bucktails, come on. You gotta let us know.
Yeah, you have a lot.
We'll share your story. Yeah, please give us a little snippet. And I guess we'll definitely share it under a story. That is so cool. Yeah, I love that. It's so awesome. And like I said, we start a little more subtle and we go a little bit not subtle. So Drusilla Hughes, again, the one with the electrical light parade. She said that her cousin... Sorry, I think it's her husband's cousin. Had a replica of the Matterhorn at their wedding. That's some dedication.
More dedication.
Come on. Yeah. Come on. Let's hear it for Drusilla's cousin. That is so amazing.
Everything Disneyland inspired.
That is incredible.
Yeah, like I want to know how big it was and
she sent a picture.
Where it was placed. She did?
I don't know if I showed you.
Okay.
I know it's been crazy with her move.
I need to go on and check because I'm so curious
so
what it looks like.
Took over their water slide at their pool. So I think it already kind of had a mountainous structure.
So there was a pool at the wedding.
Yeah.
And they just used that section to create a Matterhorn. Wow.
Yeah, maybe I'll just take this photo and also just put it on our story for those who want to see it. But yeah, so it was like a huge thing. That's
pretty cool.
That's Decor to the next level, yo. Yeah. Shout out to Drusilla's husband's cousin.
Yeah.
That is some real stuff.
That is pretty cool. That is
the
most hardcore, dedicated Disneyland inspired decor I've heard, I think. And including the electric light parade. That's pretty amazing. You went hard.
I'm bummed I didn't get invited to that wedding, even though I don't know the person.
I would have been all about it. That's pretty cool.
That is amazing.
So
yeah.
Finish
this off here.
So we have a bonus from DMSW podcast, Johnny, said went to Walt Disney World for their honeymoon and stayed at Coronado Springs.
Yeah.
I mean, not everyone's going to have stuff all up in their wedding, but spending time on your honeymoon at the parks, what better way to celebrate being married?
Yeah.
That's all I have to say. And at a beautiful resort. I've heard Coronado Springs is awesome. So,
yeah, for sure.
Very fun way to spend your honeymoon. Yes, that's what we're going to talk about next. Our honeymoon was spent immediately after our wedding in Hawaii, Maui. We went to Maui for about a week after we got married, which was incredible. It was both of our first times to Hawaii, and it was magical.
So magical.
We love all things tropical, so Hawaii is like our happy place.
Yeah.
Apart from Disney, it is our most happy place, I think.
Yeah.
So we are missing it pretty bad. We've gone twice. So we went that time and once more, but the last time was in 2019. So it's been a bit, and we miss it a lot. So I want to go back to Hawaii, but we went to Disneyland about a month after our wedding. So we did have to get some Disney in our like post honeymoon. We had like a second honeymoon kind of. It was like a couple days in the park, and it was amazing, of course.
Yeah, it's really fun to celebrate at Disney soon after you're married, and that's what our friends are doing right now.
Mm-hmm.
And they had never been to Disney World before, but I think it's something, I don't know, it's just nice because you just get to focus on each other. It's not like a friend trip, it's not really a family trip.
Mm-hmm.
You just get to focus on each other and just like diving deep into the worlds that Disney has to offer. And yeah, I'm so glad we did that like little second honeymoon of just going to the park. And we got the relaxing one before that where we just pretty much did nothing. Then we got our magical one that had to happen because we're huge Disney fans. And so I love that suggestion that Johnny gave us, and definitely go check out the DMSW podcast if you haven't already. So awesome.
Great dude.
Yeah. So I think that pretty much concludes our episode. I have been yawning a few times throughout this episode. I apologize if you've been, that yawn where you're like trying to hide it and then you just kind of like strengthen your jaw. That's not fun. But all this moving stuff has got me so tired. I'm glad I survived this episode though.
Yeah.
I mean, it's such a fun episode, but my body is just,
I feel it. I've been exhausted all day too, and I don't know why I'm feeling as awake as I am. I guess it's an invigorating topic for me. So
it's a great time. Hearing you guys' suggestions always make us invigorated, but my mouth and my yawns.
You're ready for sleep. And so hopefully soon we won't have to have you worrying about tearing all this down after we film. We can just say, time to go to sleep.
Yeah, and you know what? Like, honestly, there's a lot of work that we, put into these episodes, and early mornings and late nights and things like that. But
planning.
All I could say is all of you guys who do listen and support our show, it means a lot. And it gives us the energy and the strength to continue every week. And so, you listening, commenting on things and just, hitting us up and DMing us and letting us know that you loved our episode and all that stuff truly means a lot. And it makes all the extra work that we put into it, being parents, working regular jobs and all that stuff worth it. And we just love you guys so much. So I want you guys to know that, feel that value, feel that goodness, because you deserve it. I think we need a lot more of that in the world, just feeling appreciated, and that's why I love this Happiest Hour on Earth family, because we do feel like a community, and we strive to feel like a community here, and just being able to talk to everyone, even though it gets busy and sometimes it takes a little bit to talk to people, we feel the love, and we can't thank you enough for that.
Yeah, very true. I ditto everything you said. I mean, we started this kind of not knowing where it was going to go, and it was kind of just for us initially because, we just missed the parks in the middle of, the dark year a few years ago. It was, it was a Disneyless year, and we missed the park a lot and friends, and everything Disney related. So we started the podcast and we were just having lots of fun with it. And we still are, but you know, we've gained such a community through it, and making these videos for you guys, and not videos solely, but you know, just podcast episodes. It just makes it all worth it to know that you guys actually enjoy it. You like to interact with us. You like to hear our thoughts on stuff. So it's just been a blast. We really just have so much fun with it, and appreciate all of your input and your comments and everything you guys have to say to us through Instagram and just commenting on YouTube and things. So thank you guys so much for that.
Yeah, we love you guys, and we won't see you next week.
See you next
but
week.
We will see you the week after.
Hopefully
thank you guys for being patient as we do this big transition. There's a lot of big things for us in the future that you guys will hear about soon.
Yeah, there's lots coming up in the next couple of months. That everybody will be
enlightened
about. Lots coming up. A lot of exciting things coming for the happiest hour on earth. So we should be back 2 weeks from now, and thank you guys for being patient with us, and we'll be back with another fun episode at that time in our new house. So have a great couple of weeks, and we'll see you then.
Love you guys. See you then.
Bye.
Bye.